Hey guys, welcome to Broad Street to Britain. My voice has just about recovered. I've just about recovered from what was an absolutely incredible and special London series, and we are going to delve into it, go through the whole week with my friends here who are introduced very, very shortly. It all seems like a fairy tale, like an incredible dream, and it's over already. First of all, Alex Carr. Alex, how are you, buddy?
Hi, Dave. Glad to be back. Glad to be
Wow,
back.
where's your voice?
There I go. Glad to be back, but also glad to have you back. Glad that you're feeling better. Glad that everyone is here with us. I'm so excited. I feel an extreme case of FOMO, so I can't wait to kind of heal this gaping wound in my heart. Listening to all these stories, and I'm so excited to hear and to be here.
Well, we've got some stories, Alex. We've got some stories.
It sounds that way.
Let's go from top to bottom, starting with Sam. Sam, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, doing well, mate. Yeah, same as you. Like, voice is back. Calm down was hard. It was hard to calm down, but it's a sign of a great weekend, isn't it?
Absolutely. Over the come down yet, or still got those post-London series blues?
Still on the blues, yeah. It's not a time now. It ramped up last week, and it's like, oh, has it been a week?
I know this time last week we were what? We're probably at Passyunk again.
Yeah. And it's like
as we spent most of our
going to be last Friday again, so we can live it all a second time round.
Absolutely. Also, Stuart. Now, Stuart, I understand that as we record this, Scotland have a bit of an important game happening very soon. So we won't be too long with you, buddy. But how are you?
I'm actually still a bit of a come down after. I feel like this is going to be good. I feel like I need to talk about it, which might help get over everything because I'm still a little bit sad it's kind of done. But buzzing. Obviously, Scotland game tonight as well. Phillies are playing as well, so it's going to be a crazy night. And I've got work at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, so it's going to be great.
Yes, Stuart.
You're not sleeping. You're not sleeping.
Yeah, you're not. Especially if Scotland win. I don't think any of Scotland will be sleeping tonight.
I think there'll be a lot of sick calls tomorrow.
Yep.
And we've got Rich Weaver as well. Rich, how are you, buddy?
Dave, I'm good. I have had 5 days of work to try and get over what happened last weekend, and I can't. Everybody I meet, I'm just talking about it, even if they have absolutely no interest in baseball whatsoever. They get like a 20-minute description of the weekend. So it's nice to be back among friends talking about something that we all love.
Absolutely. That's been one of the best things, actually, even for me going back to work yesterday. It's just everyone coming up to me talking about it, saying they saw bits on TV and social media and asking questions about it. And it's a real shame that as it stands, we'll see in the coming weeks that there's no game yet next year, which would lose momentum. It was meant to be in Paris. They had London this year, then Paris and London. However, because of the Olympics, France has gone broke. No, Paris can't afford it. So unfortunately, there is no game scheduled at the moment for next year. But
wait, did they omit the Paris game completely?
Yeah, completely gone.
Wait, I had no idea.
Yeah,
they got no money.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they pulled out early doors. I think like 2-3 months ago they pulled out.
Cancel West Ham season.
Yeah,
keep the stadium up.
The Phillies there
keep the stadium up.
The week.
Well, right, and I know MLB are trying to bring it back next year. They can't lose momentum. Like this has been the most successful series yet. Obviously, bias being a Phillies fan, but everyone in general had the best time.
My family group chat was buzzing. Everybody was, of course, cracking jokes and talking about rounders and all these things. My family group chat hasn't been that alive in a long time, which is saying something. So it was successful.
It just epitomized for me everything that's great about baseball.
Yeah.
Like, in what other sport would you even have that? You know, like it was like for me from the Wednesday, and I think Sam, you were there from the Wednesday as well. It was like a 5-day stag dude. Bachelor party for you guys in America than anything else. It was a marathon at times, but the best and the most fun times and the memories that I've ever had. And everybody was in such good spirits. Everybody was just so happy to be there. There was intensity, but at the same time, it's a fierce rivalry. We gave the Mets some boo.
A lot.
One or two.
One or two. But I was like Saturday. I was like stood there outside the stadium when largely Peter, our Irish friend, was booing everybody with any sort of Mets memorabilia on, including dogs included.
Mhm.
But you know what? The Mets fans took it. Yeah. And the Mets fans took it actually really well. The vast majority took it really well. And I was like, man, if we were stood here for football right now, we wouldn't last 10 seconds outside London Stadium.
No.
I think it sort of helped that as a group, we were all smiling, and it was no aggressive chanting. They could see that we were having fun. We meant it as fun. Everyone walking past was smiling, and they were replying just as much as we were giving it out. I think that sort of helped. Like you said, it was a great atmosphere, and nothing ruined it. It wasn't where football comes across and they're a bit obnoxious and it's not meant the same as the way we were.
Well,
exactly.
There's like an inherent jovial energy. If you're willing to take a flight from the United States or wherever you're coming from into the UK to see a baseball game, I think there's this inherent energy that like everyone's there just to have fun, and it's as much a vacation as it is a Major League Baseball game. So I think that really helps, and I think it also helps that everybody received all of the people that were coming in from around the world really wonderfully. I think that also really helped.
The thing is, it wasn't just Phillies and Mets fans there. There was fans of most teams. I pretty much saw most jerseys as well, like from Tampa. Even saw tons of Baltimore. Obviously, they're very popular as well. I think people are getting to MLB probably become Baltimore fans, maybe of how well they're doing just now, how young their team is. But it was just really incredible, and that's probably one of the reasons why there was such a good atmosphere, because everybody was getting along with each other. Even Mets fans were bantering and stuff, especially on the Sunday after they beat us. But there was all handshakes and hugs after as well, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think as well, just like I said, it epitomized what baseball's all about. Even from the Wednesday when we're at Passyunk booing the Mets fans coming into Passyunk again.
There were 3 people that were there.
all 3 Mets fans that were there. It was just, it was just good. Like, baseball is such a unique sport and a special sport that's so hard to describe, and a lot of newcomers. Saturday outside the stadium, there's this guy dressed in his Phillies gear came up to us and wanted a picture with us. And he's like, "It's like, how long have you been following the Phillies for?" He said, "Like an hour." I said, "Remember?" He said, "I saw you guys. You guys were having fun. That's it. Phillies are my team now." Wow, job done. New fan right there.
On the Sunday, there was a guy sitting beside me, a Mets fan from America with his family, and they were in the pub beforehand, and they just met this random guy, and literally just paid for his ticket and took him to the game. That's literally how quick it was.
Amazing.
It was explaining everything to him as the game was going on.
We saw him Sunday night at Passyunk. The guy, remember the guy with the Mets hat? They picked him up, but he'd picked the wrong team. So they took him to the game on Sunday.
Might be, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we saw him. I definitely saw him. I hadn't been drinking that much Sunday, so Sunday is my best memories.
Yeah, he literally didn't even know MLB was in London until about an hour before the game, and just went with him, bought him a ticket and brought, because obviously last minute tickets went down. But
probably sat in the bar seeing all the fans around and was like, "Oh, what's going on this weekend?" And they're like, "Oh, baseball, you want to come?" He's like, "Yeah."
That's like the thing is as well. Like the good thing is, especially I don't know if they had it on the social media a lot, but obviously like they were in schools and stuff, and they had school kids there as well, which was really incredible. Which is really good to get the kids into baseball. So now that's memories for life already. You was at the batting practice, you saw yourself.
Yeah, on the Friday.
Thousands of kids, which was just amazing to see.
Yeah.
And their whole reaction to the Fanatic was something that will live with me.
He was in the crowd as well.
Everybody.
Unbelievable.
I feel like the Fanatic has really. I think the Fanatic's going to gain a lot of popularity in the UK.
The loudest cheer when everyone was coming out the batting practice was Fanatic.
Unbelievable.
100%.
Thousands of kids.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So Sunday was my kids' first baseball game.
Oh, nice.
Because they're like 9 and 6.
Wow.
And the Fanatic was basically what they were excited about. And I was thinking, how's this going to work? It was all right on Friday when there was 300 of us there, but this 60,000 people. How are we going to do this? But did manage. Both of them managed to get a cuddle with a fanatic. And
let's go.
We
What
can
a
name
moment.
them, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, my 9-year-old literally had to chase him. When he's walking through the stadium and there was like security. I can't imagine being the fanatic's bodyguard. What a job. But no, he did a good job.
I had to chat and that's great because, you know, the fanatic is a key part of the organization in more ways than one.
He's like the poster boy.
And that's one thing that I noticed more than anything. You see so much content of the fanatic going around, doing things, doing outreach, standing outside of Buckingham Palace, like all of these things, right? And I didn't see Mr. and Mrs. Met doing anything, which not to say that the Mets should have made more of the opportunity or whatever. And this is I'm not ragging on the Mets here, but the fanatic was everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere,
literally.
Yeah.
And that's like I just think that's amazing. I think that the Phillies knocked it out of the park, and you can say it about so many aspects of that week and that weekend, but especially from that perspective of just like outreach and being there, the Phillies were
the community engagement side of things was spot on for.
I know the fanatic was at schools. I think T-Mark was at a school as well, doing like
they all were. Cole, Ryan, Chase. They were opening up the new complex down there. I Mr. and Mrs. Met as well, and Daniel Murphy as well.
Right, Daniel Murphy was there. Yeah.
Hey, that's just incredible. Like that's just honestly nuts. Like blows my mind how much they did. Like you said. And plus the thing is, in London, everywhere I went, there was Phillies fans. Literally all across London. Like it was just insane. Everywhere I went, just as soon as I stepped outside my hotel room, within 5 minutes, you would just see someone with like a Phillies hat. It was just
It was at least 70-30 Phillies.
I will rag on the Mets a little bit. The fact that the Phillies sent Ryan, Chase, Shane, all of these guys, and the best the Mets could do was Daniel Murphy, is kind of telling.
Yeah. Well. Mookie Wilson wasn't even there. He'd been there.
Where's David Wright? Man. What could David Wright possibly be doing? Like, what are we? Come on now. Like, I understand not selling. Sending Doc Gooden, sending Darryl Strawberry. I get it. Where's David Wright? Like, where? What are we doing?
I think the Mets sent was one of the impractical jokers, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was literally it.
They but then to be fair, they were, the Phils fully embraced it. Like the way, even from the social media side of it, to the moment that Brewers game ended, they were putting the UK posters up, the Adele album covers with Stubbsy and Pache.
Which shout out to Philly's social media. All of those,
shout out to Missy and Pete. Yeah.
All of those incredible swaps of like I can't remember all of them, but there were movie swaps, there were music swaps, there were all these things. They just had so much content loaded and ready to go. It was like impossible to keep up. There was so much to digest.
The one that I thought was quite underrated was, I think it was Tara, and she was out in the streets asking like random people, what's this with the picture of the fanatic?
Oh yeah.
And I think you really need to see it. And, like people have no ideas. Giving like guesses, I think Loch Ness Monster and everything, and like where is it from? People were saying, "Oh, is it from Australia?" and stuff like that. It was. If you haven't seen that video, you really need to see it because even Taryn's reactions, like, what?
It was the green pig that got it for me.
Yes,
the green pig. I think if you look at the first pictures as well, they show the different level of effort that the Phillies put in compared to the Mets, and frankly, the other 4 teams that have been to London. The Mets bring on Matthew Broderick, who's best known in this country for killing some people in a motoring incident, whereas that stuff that they seeded a week before with the Always Sunny video, and then doing the ceremonial double play, just so much more creativity, and I think Alex, tell me if I'm wrong here. I think the stuff that we all saw in the stadium about the when they did the ceremonial double play, I don't think that actually made it.
It did.
Onto the broadcast. I did. Okay, cool.
Oh, onto the broadcast? I'm not so sure.
No, it didn't make it live. It wasn't live, and they put it on later.
It did make it. It made it on social media, and they put it on. Cool. I think they did it later on. Yeah, and later on in the broadcast. But I just think I almost forgot about that Always Sunny.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like,
so much had happened.
that is one of the best pieces of content I've seen from the Phillies ever. Like, Bryce kind of killed it in that video.
Really did.
Right. The thing is, people were so like praising Bryce. They were like, people generally thought a lot of it was like a bit for It's Always Sunny. And Caitlin also had to actually come out and say, this isn't actually for It's Always Sunny. So that's how good. That's how good it was.
MLB
You
London.
know? Yeah.
Let's go back to the Wednesday. Rocking up at the train station. Just unbelievable the amount of people already in London. Like the night before, people had told me like London's lit. There's like Philly fans, and we're talking hundreds already there. So getting there on the Wednesday was just what a buzz on the train. Dumped my bags at the hotel, went straight to the stadium. Seeing it all decked out in London series was like probably the first time it really hit home that this was happening. Yeah. And by chance met Spencer from NBC, Spencer McKercher, at the stadium, and his excitement was through the roof. And it just started there. We were walking around the stadium, filming some bits. Philly, fans already from Phillies with caps on, walking around. And then we went to London, and I showed him around basically all the sites of London. I think I averaged about 23,000 steps a day that whole week.
I haven't looked yet, but I need to go and have a look and see what.
It's an insane amount. And the amount of fans and Philly caps you would see. We're at Buckingham Palace, and he was filming some stuff down there. And he had some Phil's fans to talk to for NBC for stuff they were doing. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like this swarm of Philly fans obviously could see that recording was going on. All you could hear around Buckingham Palace was "Go Phils, go Phils." Go. Like I was thinking, like the King's in. If he looks out his curtains and see what's going on,
he comes out of his balcony. He's
what's
like, "Guys,
happening
keep
right
it
now."
down, keep it down. It just goes back.
Yeah,
to the Palace.
and it was crazy. And we got to Passyunk that night. It was the last game of the Brewers game, and Passyunk was packed. Yeah, absolutely,
outside and inside.
Yeah, and it was insane. And the game was like, it was like a postseason game. Being there for the postseason games, the atmosphere was incredible when Cassie hit that home run.
Oh, yeah.
The place went off. It actually went off. People were going crazy, and that was the first time that I felt like, damn, this is going to be a party this weekend. Like this is going to be insane. People are up for it already. It's Wednesday. Seeing Cindy Webster there was awesome. Spencer, then we got the shout outs on NBC.
I was going to ask because I missed the game because I had to work obviously the next morning. I heard that I think you just heard he's got a shout out on NBC from T-Mac, was it? T-Mac during the game again. The place going crazy. It was rocking, and just I put the call out on social media to say come down to Passyunk and join us, and the amount of people that rocked up was just incredible, and just the first taste of talking to fans from all over, and then it got great. I think Nola came out the game. Everyone giving a standing ovation. Reese got a great ovation. Who's it closed it? Is it Alvarado closed that game? I think he did. And just the whole atmosphere was just incredible. And then Spencer was taking videos and pictures of us and sending them to the NBC crew, Ricky, Bo, and Michael, and then getting them to give us like live shout outs as they were on air. Again, it was about I intended to be there till about midnight. And what was it, Sam? About 1:30 when we left?
Yeah, I had no train to get home. I had to pay for an Uber to get home that night because I couldn't get a train home, and I had to be.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, because it's a normal Wednesday night. We've completely forgot the tube stopped at midnight.
Yeah, so that was.
So we went to Uber. The amount of money I spent on Ubers is probably the most I spent that whole weekend. Just getting back from Passyunk back to the hotel.
Yeah, I should have. But we met at the hotel for the weekend. To be fair, it's my own fault, but. Yeah.
In hindsight, I would have stayed near a Waterloo.
Yeah,
I staying near Liverpool Street, and I thought, it'd be easy to get to the stadium from there. I practically lived at Passyunk that weekend. Yeah. It would have been far easier there. We met Ellen, who had travelled from Australia.
Yes,
to be in London for the Phillies.
Wow.
She'd never seen the
Phillies
over
just for the game.
Wow.
And then having a holiday as well, but like her primary reason was that the Phillies are playing in London.
Incredible.
Insane. Her first Phillies game from Brisbane. Her first Phillies game is to see him in London. Like, just insane commitment. And then
Molly or something ridiculous, wasn't it? She said.
Yeah. It was. Brought me some Tim Tams over as well, which was amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, you
And
had
it
your bag
was
of
just-
goodies, the little paper bag, didn't you? Of all the...
Yeah, those Tim Tams were clutch at the end of every night. I can tell you that after a few beers. And it just that Wednesday night set the tone. You know, in hindsight, I should have gone home back to the hotel a bit earlier.
Yep.
Didn't set me up well. Thursday, Rich, Stuart, when did you guys rock into London?
So I was working Thursday morning, so I was getting a train to London literally straight after work. I washed it to Glasgow train station, got the train, and I got to about 9:00, and I was listening to I had a wee playlist, I had some podcasts to catch up on all Philly stuff to get before I get there. Planning to go to Passyunk, then I got a message thought, oh, Topper might be going to Passyunk. And I got to the hotel and it was like 5 minutes, just going to quick freshen up before I go. And literally fell asleep and woke up the next day and was like, what I missed.
No.
Oh, my whole social media, Topper and
no.
Passyunk everywhere. And I was like, what have I missed, man? I was like, this is like the worst thing ever. I was like, I should have just went straight out from the
You
hotel.
never put your head on the pillow. Never
No.
put your head on the
I
pillow.
should have just rocked that. I should have just literally just arrived with my suitcase and been like, you know what, screw it, let's just go. I bet we live and learn. Never put your head on the pillow.
No.
But you had travelled all the way down from North Scotland, mate. You know that's
Yeah.
you know about the same amount of journey as the people flying from the States.
I got up at 5:00 that morning as well. So that was but I was like, the thing is, I was thinking, should I have a drink on the train? That'll probably be fine. Have a drink on the train. I'll go to Passyunk then, so I'll be buzzing. But no, sad I missed it. What about yourself, Rich?
How long's that ride, Stuart?
So it used to be like, so I used to live in Inverness, which was quite far, but I moved to Glasgow just about last year. So it used to be 11 hours. Now it's about 4 hours. It's not too bad. I was going to fly, but then I thought the 2 hours it takes to be in the airport already, then the hour from Heathrow to London plus getting around, I thought I might as well just get the train.
Yeah.
So that's why I got the train. But now I was like, I should have. The worst thing is I got offered the chance to take Thursday off as well. But I thought, you know what, I'll work it. And I so regret it. It's the only thing, out of all the major things that happened, it was probably the only thing I actually missed. I mean, it's just the one, that's the one I probably would have loved the most, because I saw everyone had a drink, got like cheers from Topper.
We'll get into that. But.
Well, you prepped better than me. You prepped better than me. So proud of you. Sorry,
Rich.
Go ahead.
When did you rock into London?
So I rocked up on Friday morning. I worked on Thursday as well, and I ummed and ahed about whether to come in on Thursday night, but I had to buy a bit of favour at home by looking after the kids on Thursday night, and then came in first thing on Friday morning. And at that point, it's like, right, the rest of the weekend is mine.
Mine now, yeah.
But I was about the 6th or 7th person through the door on Friday morning into London Stadium. So
oh, nice.
yeah.
Yeah, Friday. We'll get into Friday in a second. Now, Friday was one of the coolest experiences ever. We'll go into that in a second. Thursday was the morning was a bit of a hangover from last night, but real excitement because obviously the Phillies were landing. Did a bit on Fox. What was it? Fox. Is it Fox 29 in Philly?
I think so.
I think it's Fox 29. So they were on the Waterloo Bridge. So bumped into them, did a thing with them. Then went to that New Era store in Carnaby Street to see that atrocious.
Oh, the jacket.
The jacket and the shirts myself.
Yes. Oh, terrible.
Carnaby Street, lovely area. The store was nice, but that merchandise was just a marketing disaster.
I'm a Phillies fan in New York City, and that doesn't even appeal to me.
No.
So I can't imagine that there are many people that
we
are
need to go back to the
clamoring for
shop
that.
and see if they actually sold one single version of that.
I didn't see.
Well,
They did sell one.
Trevor May did put out a tweet today. Trevor May, who was a Phillies draftee, who they eventually traded for, can't recall at this moment in time, but Trevor May, who was a Phillies draftee and then played for the Mets before he retired in 2022. He does want one of the Mets Phillies button-ups, which atrocious, but more power to him.
It's atrocious, and that jacket, which I nearly bought, until I opened it up and saw the line.
So did I. I was thinking about it, then I opened up and I was like, yeah, that's not happening.
It's not. The Phillies P was nice, and then the Phillies on the back with the little Union Jack flag. I thought, great jacket. Open to see the price. saw the price, and I was like, I think I'm going to buy this. And I was like, the lining is like, it's mostly Mets.
Why
And
did
I was
they?
like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't just make a lot of Phillies and Mets UK centric stuff.
yeah.
It's almost
And,
like we'd have a team.
And there was a bit of that.
Oh,
there
like
was. To be fair,
little
in the store, there was there was some nice T-shirts. The hoodie was actually quite nice, and actually, I might
Oh, really?
wait to see if that comes out. Although they sold out of Philly stuff by Sunday morning.
I
The
heard
main merchandise store had no Philly stuff left. It was.
I heard our friend Morgan will put in the group chat. Heard that there was nothing left for the Phillies at all.
Wow.
And I had to look, and me and Peter were walking out after. I had to look over, and Peter said, "There's nothing there. He couldn't see anything. Like not even a foam finger. He couldn't see anything."
Yeah,
Wow.
or even those Philly chains. You know,
those ones, yeah.
they were everything was gone.
Wow.
Even Carnaby Street had sold out of the Philly centric stuff. So that was an experience. And then I went in a little bit of Philly spotting. I knew where they were staying, so I knew they'll be around Tower Bridge area. And saw Cole Hamels, but he wasn't very approachable. You could tell from a long way that he wasn't interested in, which is fair enough. And they're all in dress down clothes.
Yeah.
So they're on vacation as well. But Cole was giving that look to fans of
Leave me alone.
which is fair enough.
Long trip, long days, long everything.
Yeah, and I know Cole had been there a couple of days before, but all the players were in dress down. So I was like auto scanning people's faces in my mind, like, is that one? Is that one? And I eventually did see around 2:00 Joe Rowe, Pache, and Sosa together. But again, now with I think they're with their girlfriends and they were in dress down. So, part of me wanted to rush up to them and like, can I have a picture? But when you see them, like I said, dressed down with their friends and family, you're sort of like, just take a picture from afar and respect it. But then I see people with selfies with Bryce Harper on the street.
I saw that one. Yeah.
That one too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? I should have just done it.
Well, Bryce is always. I feel like Bryce is different. Bryce is always like ready to. He's always got his game face on.
And it was in Portobello Market as well.
Yeah.
Like wow, it just the players were all in London walking around and just happy again to be taking selfies with the fans. And again, what a team, what an incredible team. And then so I cut my losses after that and went to Passyunk. I got a text saying there was some special guests there, so turned up. MLB Network are filming. Chase is there, perfect timing. Chase does his filming, finishes, and walks down. There's a bit of a crowd there. Met some fantastic people while I was waiting for Chase, all from Philly and New Jersey. And Chase spots me as I come down and goes, "Dave, great to see you." And he goes, "Oh, I'm so glad that video is doing so well for you." And I'm like, "Oh."
I was
Chase
just about to say, you and Chase at this point must be you must have such a rapport going on.
I did wonder. I was sitting there going, I was there wondering, is he going to recognize me? Is he going to remind me? But
you guys are like attached at the hip at this point.
It's kind of like it's Mark and Chase and it's always sunny. In reality, it's Dave and Chase now.
No, truly, I genuinely feel like they are a package deal now.
It's not Dave and Charles. It's Dave and Chase. That's what it is.
It was incredible. The fact they remember my name, knew the video, and then I tried to say some more stuff back, but there was a lot of people by that point when they're clamoring. I'm like, all right, I've had my time. And then Shane Victorino walks in. Like, we had no idea who's going to come through the door that day. So there's lots of rumors. And then Shane Victorino walks in. I just look behind me. I'm like, it's Shane Victorino. Like, grab a picture. He was so cool. Again, very approachable.
He's one of the sweetest guys.
Really is. Like, the first time I met
2018,
Shane,
he's so sweet.
And both Chase and Shane were giving a lot of their time to the fans as well. They were more than happy to be there signing. Adam Wainwright was working for the MLB Network, and because he played in this game last year for the Cardinals. And again, he was so cool. He was chatting to everybody. Had a picture and just
that one I'm jealous of.
Playing here last year, and then he gave a lot of his time. And in fact, the MLB Network guys were great as well. All of them were happy to chat to fans and. We're very, very approachable. And I got to Passyunk around 2:00. I intended to be there just for an hour and then go back to the hotel and drop some stuff up.
Whoops.
Again, I was there till about 1:30.
12 hours, 2 hours.
It's amazing. You just get there, you just start talking, and it's probably the day I lost my majority of my voice because Passyunk Waterloo is underground, as everyone knows. It's quite dusty. It's quite.
Yeah.
I was talking non-stop, drinking beer. Like I met the best people in the best outfits. Fans had gone all out for this. Made a lot of cool custom T-shirts, custom dresses, custom headwear, and just talking to fans. It got like 5 o'clock. It was like, well, I might as well have a cheesesteak. And then Sam, didn't you rock up? Drew, some of the guys from the group then started rocking up.
On Thursday.
Yeah.
No, I had a staff barbecue Thursday, so I missed all of this.
You weren't there. Drew turned up. Cal from Wales turned up, and and then it's like, well, I'm here for the night now.
This is it now, yeah.
And then, as a lot of you know who watch the show, Dusty Waffen was on the show a while ago, and me and Dusty kept in touch. His wife Heidi studied in the UK for a long time near Brighton, so we all sort of kept in touch before they came to London. And on that day, on the Thursday, in the morning, Heidi and Dusty both messaged me on Instagram saying, what should we do Thursday night? Where to go? I said, well, there's a Philly bar in called Passyunk in Waterloo, but it's going to be crazy busy. But it's Philly themed. It's a cool place. And then Heidi left it as, oh, cool. We'll let you know when we're coming down. And I thought nothing of it. It's like, no way. They want to go for a nice quiet meal, like Nola was doing, and then the rest of the guys. And then at 8:10, I got an Instagram video message. Signal in Passyunk was not very good, so I had 2 missed calls, and I ran out to the front and picked up the third one, and it was Heidi and Dusty. And I thought it was just them. And I said to him, where are you guys heading tonight? Are you coming down? They went, yeah, we're coming down. And we're bringing, they had a bit drink already. And well, we're bringing some friends down, but where do we go? And I'm like, who's we? And she'd panned the camera around. Topper's there, Larry Bower's there, their wives. Like, wearing this Uber. And then we got Caleb and everyone else in the other, like 3 Ubers all en route to Passyunk. It's like, oh my God, right, here are the coordinates. I'll meet you out front. Like, thinking I need to sober up and quick. So good there breathing as much fresh air as possible. Like
this is 9 hours in at this point.
Yeah, 9 hours deep. Like
it's 1 hour deep.
I am like this is happening, and then all of a sudden, like 3 big black Ubers turn up, and they all get out, and I just like all the coaching staff plus Larry, who looked fantastic. Larry Bower looked amazing. Topper looked amazing. They all looked dapper. They were all dressed up. They all looked amazing. And Heidi goes, points to me and goes, this is Dave. This is the guy here. Thank Dave. And they were like, it's great to be here. Like they all genuinely wanted to be there.
It looked like they did from the video.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was, they were there for, they'd already been, I think they were already a few drinks in as well. And I had my pictures outside with them, knowing they'll get swamped. So walked them in. Like this was all within a 5-minute window of them ringing up. Like I hadn't even had a chance to tell Passyunk they were coming yet. So I sort of walked them in, and sure enough, they got swamped. Like it wasn't crazy swamped. People were very respectable.
Yes.
Like people were just shaking their hands,
as they
asking for pictures.
I was going to ask, like, who actually knew in Passyunk there were coming? Was it just you?
Just me. So I run in like to talk to Alex and Gary and Stu. Because JP wasn't there that night until later on. I said, guys, the Topper's here and all the coaches are there. Like, so they cleared the upstairs bit as quick as possible. And they were going to make that then just a VIP bit for them.
Yeah.
So they took them upstairs and they were going to close it off. And it was Topper that went, no. If the fans want to come up, let them come up. We're absolutely happy to do it. And, that was incredible. So I'm at the top. Waiting for I can see them all coming in like they're getting swamped. Caleb's there loving life, waving a drink in the air already. And it was just incredible. And to meet all the wives and
you can't pick a better person to run a Philadelphia club. Like I'm not gonna there are some managers in Major League Baseball that I feel like would say, yeah, get us to a private room ASAP, right? Or any of these things.
Yeah, 100%.
Rob Thompson is just like, no, let them, like,
they can come up. Yeah, it's that.
We don't need to do anything big. Like, it's no big deal.
And Topper was, and they were all talking up there. They were talking to everyone. They had time for everybody. They were there for about an hour and a half. Taron and Spencer were there again from NBC. You know, they were off duty at that point, just happy to talk to people as well. And it was just, you know, one of the moments where you just stand there and look around. And I didn't want to film it or take pictures. It's one of those special moments where you look around and go, what is my life right now? Like, this is just unbelievable. And
live in the moment. You just
live in the moment, yeah. And then they all had a picture at the top at the bar with Daniel from Passyunk, and then they all went round to the bar and poured themselves some drink. Topper had a nice strong shot of whiskey, and then
it was a healthy sized one as well. I saw.
Yeah, it was a big glass.
I can tell the toast he did is going to be on the yearbook at the end, 100%. That's
absolutely,
yeah. And that's the thing. I feel like nobody from Passyunk probably expected this kind of thing to happen, right? You start a bar in London that's Philadelphia themed just because you want to, right? You don't do it so that when, you know, you're not playing a long game, so that when the Philadelphia Phillies come to London, you're like, yeah, this is all part of the plan, right? What that, like, all of this just seems so kismet. It seems so meant to happen. It seems so. It's brilliant.
It felt like a match made in heaven, 100%.
Yeah, it's just the way it brought people together. Like,
yeah,
there was people. I remember talking to a couple from Wayne in Pennsylvania near Philly, and then like 5 minutes later, I was talking to another group from Wayne, like in Philly. I'm like, have you spoke to those guys? They're from Wayne as well. No way. I'm like, yeah. And then they were like, and it ended up they lived like 2 blocks apart.
Wow.
And then those guys were drinking for the rest of the night, you know.
Yeah, now they're best friends for life.
Yeah, and that's what Passyunk does. Like, every time I go in there, like, people just connect who live so close together. It just brings people together and Philly natives together. And Topper did a toast. We said, like, you got to say something, Topper. And he raised his glass. I'm like, what is he going to say? Like, camera ready. And he just went, to the 2024 Philadelphia Phillies.
I genuinely think that moment... because I genuinely believe this season is going to be something special. We can talk about that another time, but that moment is just going to live in history. I feel like it's just going to be replayed over and over and over again. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I put it on social media, and it just blows up. And at that point, I couldn't keep up with my phone. Like, I could see people were asking for invitation and stuff, and I was like, yeah, just everyone knew that. I don't mind, because it for me, like, it's the Phil's doing something so magic and special. That people need to know that these guys are real people. They're great people. Talking to Topper himself, he loved London. Obviously, being Canadian, he's never been to London before, but it's first time there. He wants to come back to London when he gets a chance to. And they just all embrace it. And as the night went on, they don't have a few to drink. Larry had to be dragged out by his wife. Like, Larry wanted he was loving it. He literally had to be dragged out. Topper went a bit early as well, but Caleb, Paco, and all the coaches. Diego, my word,
I've heard
he was hammered. But you know, he was great. Diego is one of those people that you imagine he's quite a happy drunk, so he was a lot of fun. But we had Caleb. So Drew said to Drew, who's in the UK Phillies group as well, he was up there and he went, Dave, just take a step back. You've got sat here, Caleb Coffin, because we had the Phillies Brewers game on the TV from Wednesday, and Caleb was breaking down Nola's pitch sequence.
Whoa.
Wow.
And he threw a slider here, and then I did not like him doing that. And he was getting angry at Aaron, like, you know, I told him afterwards, I didn't like that. And he said that, oh, Nola threw a ball here, and someone behind me said throw a strike, and I hate that. I was like, I've never heard Caleb talk before. He doesn't talk that much in public. And just watching him then break down how we say water and many other English words as well with Aaron and Liam Jenkins from PSN, just to get one of those surreal nights where we're all just bantering over the way we say things and they say things, and different. It was just surreal. Diego had to be dragged out at the very end. He was going to go for a pizza. I don't think he made it to a pizza. I think he was in a taxi, being dragged back to his hotel.
At when you're in a bar in the UK at however late it was. What an interesting thing to be craving at that.
It's common. It's very
really
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
If it was Scotland, it'd be a deep fried pizza, but that's
yeah.
But that's the other thing, Dave. To go back really quickly, what you said about these people being like, you start to see them as human. Well, you should always see them as human beings, but you really start to see the human side of them when you get to do and experience things like this. And I think that is like, we're talking so much about the Phillies yearbook and the summation of what this season could be and all those things. This team, it's probably just the bond that they all have and the bond that they have with the fans and all those things. But this team is so human, and I think that's why people feel such a special vibe from this team.
Absolutely.
Because, especially when you look at these, and I've talked about this a lot on Twitter over the last few days, but like this next man up mentality, right? That doesn't come to fruition unless guys really feel truly comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Like David Dahl coming up and being a hero in a game, right? Or any of these things, right? It just doesn't happen, right? But you can tell that all of these guys are so comfortable with one another. They're comfortable with their coaching staff. The coaching staff is comfortable with the fans. Everybody, it's cyclical.
Yeah.
And it is just it creates this environment where everybody feels pressureless, which is again why I feel like Topper is like, yeah, let them come. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
And it's all for the city, and it really is all for the fans. And I know it's cliche, and a lot of players say, yeah, well, we're playing for the fans, we're playing for the city,
but Philly does.
Philly does.
I mean, look at Bryce. Bryce after the home run.
We sell out on a Tuesday night. We literally sell out on a Tuesday night at Citizens Bank Park. Like we literally sell out on a Tuesday night. We could play anyone in the league. We could be playing the White Sox, and I generally feel we would sell out right now. That's how the kinship it is. That special bond and relationship we've got right now.
And of course, the bond between the players and the fans.
Yeah.
Friday morning. So I got a message from MLB a few days beforehand saying be at Trafalgar Square for 9 a.m. For an opportunity not to be missed. So that was it. Very cryptic to bring 5 other Philly fans or 6, 7 other Philly fans down. So we all rendezvoused at Trafalgar Square. Beautiful morning, very warm.
Gorgeous weather.
And it was, we all got there. We were hanging around for a bit. No idea what was coming. And Alex from MLB Europe comes out and talks to me, talks to Sam, mics me and Sam up and says, you're going to be going around Trafalgar Square. You're going to be checking it all out. You're the first ones in the takeover. You're going to be going into the batting cage. And basically just giving a tour and just having some fun with it and give us your experience of it for the cameras and stuff, which was awesome. That for me, as it was, was great.
That was fine. It was just a beautiful morning. Everyone was just having fun. A lot of people just got to London, obviously, as well. We were just like, let's enjoy this. We're all just have fun. I thought it was just going to be like a wee tour. That's generally what I thought it was.
Yeah. You had just got down. Morgan had traveled from York that morning to be there, just made it in time. Sam had traveled from Southampton. So we all scrambled to be there. Well, a lot of them scrambled to be there for 9 o'clock. And we go in and we got coaching tips from a professional coach. Now, I think I did quite well. I
probably didn't.
Drew was amazing, by the way. Drew was incredible.
Drew can. Yeah, wow, what a slugger. Him and Kyle Schwarber he'd give Kyle a run for his money. And it was just great. We were there for about an hour, being shown around, doing all this batting cage, hitting off a tee and stuff, giving professional tips. And it was a great day. We had it all to ourselves. MLB Network guys were there again.
All signed people, by the way. I met them as well. All lovely.
Really, really nice people. Happy to talk. And then we were doing we had to get a group picture at the top of the stairs, all in the middle. We were there for about 10 minutes doing these pictures.
Yeah, they were like, this guy goes here. Can you?
Yeah. Doing different formations.
Different songs.
Yeah, the Flying V. We had all
that. Asking us to do the Bone song, the Let's Go Philly song.
Who the players were coming, and they were delayed. So they were like, how do we keep the guys at the top of the stairs? Do the Flying V.
Yeah.
Okay, can you now have staggered? Can you have people kneeling, sitting? And it was just like, how many pictures do you need? And then we were doing the Let's Go Phillies song again. And
And it was like a minute we were doing that for. To a point of like,
how long do they do it for? Like, how many shots do they need? I'm not a professional photographer at all.
No, but I think they got surely
this many.
It was, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, I got this whiff of cologne, and I thought it was actually you, Stu, at one point. I'm like,
oh, thanks.
Smell good, Stu.
Oh, it smells nice.
What are you wearing? And then you were going, and Morgan were going, Dave, turn round. And it was just still while we were doing the Let's Go. But at this point, it was Let's Go Philly. Like, we were there for a minute. Like, even we were starting to wane, and we turned around, and then Alec and Kyle were stood literally on our shoulders, right behind us.
The best part was, though, right? I just saw Alec. I didn't see Kyle was there for about a good 2 minutes after. I just turned around. I was like,
wow, I better go say hello to him as well now.
I just saw Alec. I was like, God, you're tall.
Yeah, 6'5".
I was tall, but I was like, wow. It took me ages to realize Kyle was actually there the whole time.
It was just mental. And, inside, like, going crazy. I'm fanboy, and I think we all were, like, on the outside, just trying to play it cool. Kyle was awesome. Kyle's a lot smaller than what I thought he was.
Yeah, so we're about the same height, me and Carl, but I thought he was smaller than me, but it turns out they're all
he's quite a small, a big build,
He's dense.
Yeah.
Strong.
Strong lad. Yeah. Strong lad.
Strong's the word.
And they were both fantastic. It wasn't just a quick picture and off they went. Kyle took Sam into the batting cage to give him some tips for MLB Network.
Yeah,
I think they thought Sam's he's got quite a baby face, and I think they thought he was a child.
I thought
because it's just
give him the experience because he's the baby.
I think Sam came out after and said they thought I was like 16, 17 years old.
There's the way the guy from MLB Network came up to him and goes, "Do you want to learn how to hit like Kyle Schwarber?" I'm like, you do know he's like 25, 26 years old. And the experience of Sam.
I thought they'd pick Morgan because he'd probably maybe the youngest I ever saw. But
yeah, he was.
Yeah. No, it was like I said, they were so nice. Kyle was lovely. Like, he was really enjoying London. Like, he will talk about how he wants to bring his family here because I think he's an Arsenal fan as well.
He is. Yeah.
He wants to talk about he wants to go to the game at the Emirates. He didn't know England were playing that night either, actually. So
he was quite keen to go, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was really keen to go. So
Alex said he would have named all the Premier League teams if he was given a chance because they all play FIFA. Because we did say, look, where was Brighton, Alec? We were waiting, but Alec was just talking about general. It wasn't just 5 minutes and a quick chat. We're talking about general life towards the end, and traveling, and he was just so open, so laid back, so cool. Getting the jersey framed as we speak, with the sign my top. Kyle was funny. He went.
It had to be Bohm though. Like, for you, it had to be Bohm. Like
every
time Bohm does something, I just see Dave getting tagged all the time in my timeline. All the time.
I wake up like I know Bohm without even knowing what happened in the game. Before I even see a highlights, if I've missed the game, wake up and I see Bohm's been tagged. And I've been tagged all over my timeline. I'm like, well, Bohm's done something. Bohm's gone yard. But they enjoyed the songs. They liked the Bohm chant.
Yeah,
I was not doing it in front. I bottled it. I wasn't doing it in front of
kids doing the Alec Bohm chant was really because Dave, when that started, I remember I was like, oh, I love that. That's cute that we're doing that. It's a real thing. It's a thing.
It's crazy. And we were doing it on Saturday and it got on the main Phillies TikTok.
I didn't know it was on the TikTok until you put it in the chat today, I think it was actually.
Yeah, I didn't know it was on the TikTok either. Yeah, someone tagged me in it.
But then I remember I think you're speaking to someone at Cleveland on Sunday, and I think he said he wanted to see
Tom Burgoyne, yeah.
He wanted to see the Bohm chant, and I think you sent it to him. And obviously that's where it's gone now. So it's gone viral, yeah.
So I sent him the one of us booing that Mets fan first by accident. And he goes, Dave, I can't put that in that one. He goes, Dave, I love it, but I cannot use that. I was like, I get it. I get it.
By the way, I obviously going ahead, but I will say Tom was so lovely. That's my first time ever meeting him. He was so nice as well.
Tom Burgoyne's the man. Like, the Fanatic's best friend.
Yeah.
He is just, the Fanatic put in a shift.
Yeah.
that weekend.
The best part was though, when I went down, my wife said to me, "Whatever you do, don't end up on social media, don't end up on TV, don't end up on Facebook or anything." What happened by the end of that day?
You ticked
everywhere.
all those off. And so Friday morning was perfect. Then we all went to the stadium because it was workout day. Absolutely buzzing. Like any hangover had long gone. We were all running on adrenaline and coffee. And getting to the workout day was like walking in there straight away and just seeing Casty and Trey Turner and Bryce all doing workouts. Like it was just those three out there.
I will say I am completely heterosexual, but I will say Trey Turner is so beautiful in person.
He is a beautiful man.
Yeah.
Wow. How is he so beautiful? Like, this is not fair.
No need to clarify.
It was. I think that was the first time.
Yeah, I have to get that in first. Yeah.
I think that was the first time that it really hit home that they're here as well.
Yeah.
Seeing those three. And Rich, you said you were one of the first there. Like, what was your excitement going through the doors and just there they are?
Well,
like
it
straight
was
in front of
surreal
you.
because obviously they're not in their usual uniform. So we were walking as we sort of wandered down to the front row down there. I was looking at, that's Trey Turner.
Yeah.
That's Castellanos. That's Bryce Harper. They're just there.
It's like that Vince McMahon meme where he's like,
yeah, they're like 10 meters away from me, and if I just shouted their name, they would hear.
Yeah.
And it was like surreal.
When we walked in, so we came out all together a bit after, just a little bit after, and like it took me a minute to realize that Bryce was out there already because I didn't think he brought it quickly, and I was like, "Oh God, it's Bryce Harper." I was like, "This can't be real. This is my first ever time seeing the Phillies as well." So even seeing them in person, this was like incredible moment. I was like, "I can't believe that's Bryce Harper." So I was like having my fanboy moment. Obviously, my fanboy moment meeting Kyle and Alec earlier, but this was when it was starting to sink in that it's just becoming real. This is actually happening right now.
Yeah.
Big time. And even for me, who's seen the Phillies so many times, just to see them that close, we were so lucky to be so close to them, and that they were great. They were happy waving to the fans. Nick Casty, you could tell Casty was loving it, and people shouting his name. He was happy waving back. And it was just an experience of them watching them do their drills, doing batting practice. And to be fair, I thought the workout day itself, I thought was a really good job. They had the entertainers out there, the fanatic down, high-fiving everybody. It was just, again, so much better than what I could see the Mets were doing. And the Phils, I think, accidentally on purpose went into the Mets time by quite a bit in the end.
Yeah, I heard that.
Weren't too happy about. But it was just awesome. And I got to meet Missy and Pete, the Philly social media guys, just to thank him for everything they've been doing and nailing the socials. And again, everybody was just happy, smiling, like so happy to be there. And it was 3 hours, the workout in the end?
Yeah. Oh, they definitely went over their time that they were actually allocated 100%.
Yeah, I think we were there. We were still there at 3, weren't we? So,
yeah, I thought we'd be in Passyunk back by then, and then we're still at London Stadium, so you could tell that they were just enjoying the vibes. I think they're like, stay out a bit longer.
We were there so long that we were starting to become critiques. Like Trey Turner did not have a good BP. We were there going, he's not ready.
Yeah,
Trey's not ready. That's not a good BP. Oh, Kyle's smashing it. I think got 5 home runs in a row out of that batting cage.
The thing I always remember is like how each player came back. They're all each player got a chant or shouted, and each doesn't matter who you are on the lineup or the team. Each person got a cheer. Except Tylon, bless him, but
except Ty Young, who. But I think it's because no one really knew who Ty Young. Like he's not like. The problem is as well. Ranger had just come out, and Jose Alvarado had come out, and everyone was going crazy for them. And
but then he tossed his best start of the season.
Yeah. Well,
take that.
Well, Ty Young, to be fair to him, did go into Passyunk on Friday night.
I met him that night.
Did he?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I don't think Phillies fans understand how cool Taijuan Walker is.
Oh yeah.
He is, by all accounts, when he was with the Mets, there were days he would hire like free taco trucks to come out and give out tacos to fans coming in. Pride night, he bought like the first like 1,000 fans that entered the the store at Citi Field. He bought them all free merch. He does this constantly, no matter how well he's doing, no matter how he's contributing, no matter what. He always is just making an effort to be a cool guy. And I feel like the Phillies fans haven't exactly gotten to embrace that yet, whether he's been hurt or whether he's been performing not as well as he wants to or any of those things. He is just such an awesome dude. And it's unfortunate that, again, it's that like 2011 rotation effect where everyone thinks that your number 5 starter has to be, like a Vance Worley and just immediately come in and make an impact. But he's the best. And I was so happy for him when he tossed those 5.2 really strong innings and then subsequently got let down. But
I think maybe we should just have every 5th Philly start in London.
Yeah. Let's fly him out.
Yeah.
And it was also, I was struggling with my voice at that point. So Stuart and Peter were my sort of shouting voice to get people's attention. We were trying to like get Ty Young's attention, but I think we were doing the Jose chants. Jose was loving it, doing his little dances going on.
He was vibing all weekend. I saw the Giant baseball on Sunday as well.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah,
which was brilliant. He was generally vibing all weekend. You could tell
he really was watching him in the bullpen. So they were all Sir Anthony was loving life as well down there.
Yep.
And Suarez just comes across so shy and cheeky. Like when he was walking across the field, everyone's cheering him. He just gives that little look of, yeah. He's look about him. I love.
He's got an aura. He's got like a proper aura about him. Like you watch your Ranger, you're like, this guy's just the coolest guy. He does not care. He is the coolest guy. He knows he's good. He just knows he's not panicking. He doesn't stress. Just walking. It's like, you know what? Just walk. Don't have to run. Just casual pace in front of everybody. Which was
back in 2018. I saw his rehab appearance in Reading. Oh God, it was when he was on his way back for it was that Gabe Kapler bullpen. And it was when the Phillies still saw him as a relief prospect, and he really wasn't. He's always been that guy. He has always been the Ranger Suarez, the best number 3 in baseball, is the same as Ranger Suarez, who was looked at as like a lefty specialist prospect back in the day. Like he has always had that same jovial, shy, but also confident, but also that same aura, just as Stuart said. Like he's always had that, and it is so. Again, it's so cool to see him just becoming one of the more popular guys on this squad. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely, and he embraces it as well, which is what I love. And it was so good to see so many new faces that we'd obviously chatted for a long time on the group chat, the UK Phillies group chat, and to meet so many people and to friends from the States as well that had come over. It was just so nice that side of it as well, to watch this experiences with all you guys and everybody else.
I appreciate it, man.
Really appreciate it.
It was just it was special. It was a special experience. It was hot. I got sunburned. We're on the cover, but I got sunburned.
The back of my neck was sunburned.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Big time. I don't remember being in the sun.
But then in all the other videos and pictures for the weekend, I'm just a tomato the whole way through.
Start pale, red.
Yeah. Friday morning onwards. So I'm like, brilliant.
It was great. It was great meeting Peter, the Irishman, and we're all walking out and giving the old jovial again, boo to the Mets fans, booing that Mets dog.
Peter, I will say Peter upset the one Mets fan who was generally generally.
Him, yeah, but he was. I bet he was from Brooklyn. Like he really took. He
wouldn't be from Brooklyn. Then he'd be a Yankees fan.
He really took exception to it.
Might have been from deep Queens.
Yeah,
it could. He was a New York native who was just having none of it.
Which is remember, you're standing up for your team. You know what? You can deal with it.
Was the dog the one with the pipe in its mouth?
No, I didn't see that one. The dog was all. It was like
I see him every time I go to a game over at City, and it's so cute. I was wondering if he made the trip out, but I doubt it. That would be hard.
No, it was just a dog dressed in Mets gear, which was enough.
Bandana or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But again, the dog took it well. The owners took it well. It was.
Dog was.
It was just. It was great, and then I went to the hotel, dropped my bag off, and then went back to Passyunk, which was again packed. Did the booze cruise, which was a lot of fun.
We did that. Reading Terminal Market thing was on as well, wasn't it?
That's right.
That's
Oh,
right.
cool.
Yeah, it's the Reading
Yeah,
Terminal
that was-
Market,
Yeah, that was the
London.
Friday. Yeah,
That
What a
was so
great
cool.
job!
That
It
was
What did you guys get to eat?
nothing.
nothing.
Oh, really?
I didn't know.
It was a bad start,
basically
yeah.
What happened was that we all got there, it was already packed. So
Okay.
we were like asking if we could have food, and was like, nah, it's just tables only, but you could bring food outside in. But then we just kind of took a table accidentally. We just all ended up at the table, and then they ran out to them and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna start a queue here. So we started a massive queue of people just ordering food at the tables, and they kind of have a choice at that point. They were just like, you know what, screw it, everyone's buying food and stuff. And the thing is, like, obviously you had the Reading Terminal Market thing going on outside as well, and like there was queues at every food truck there as well. Like, because obviously everybody was drinking and stuff like that. But the job that they did was just incredible. How they managed to get it done, especially under the tunnels, stuff like that. With everybody going. The thing is, there was tons of stuff happening as well. There's people on motorbikes. There was so much going on at that point.
It was great, and again, it was a who's who of Philly fans. It was just so cool to meet so many people. Chat Phillies.
The sports guy was there. I think I saw him.
He was, yeah. So he went on the booze cruise with us, which was, you know,
I saw the videos.
at the start of it, I didn't want to do it. I was flagging. I was quite happy to stay at Passyunk. And then as we left, I saw Tyon walk in. And I'm like, it's Tyon Walker.
I just left before he got there as well, which was
yeah.
Me too. I hadn't even got to Waterloo, and I looked at my phone, and there was a picture of Peter with Tyrone Walker, and I'm like,
I gotta go.
I was there like about 2 minutes ago.
I know
Bad timing.
it becomes so normal at that point. Like as we were leaving Waterloo, like to go to the ferry terminal, it's like Tyon Walker's walking in. Like,
that's the thing at Passyunk. There was just you never knew who was going to turn up, and that was kind of like the magic of the occasion as well. Like
big time.
Could happen. Like obviously Sunday won't go too far ahead. Someone turned up as well, like special surprise, and which was really cool. So
yeah, Friday finished again very late. Saturday morning was.
I saw you Saturday. Obviously, you had your bag of strepsils and everything.
I genuinely thought I wasn't going to make the game. I was on death's door. I slept terribly that night. I had a fever. I was sweating but shivering in the morning. I tried to have a shower and couldn't function. I was in a bad place. I tried to go to Starbucks, get a coffee. I was sleeping at the table. Couldn't eat my croissant. Couldn't eat my coffee. First world, yeah. And any chance of being at the bar, the pre-game bar for 1 o'clock was just gone. I had to.
Well, because I remember you put a message in the chat, and we were actually really concerned. I was like, "Damn, Dave's not in a good place." Like
I was really worried that I wasn't going to make it. And
Well,
in the end, I thought, right, I'm going to have to get some this Nurofen stuff, like the strongest stuff. I was like, "What's the strongest stuff you've got?" It was like, well, you need paracetamol, ibuprofen before you take this. It's like, no, I'm taking this.
Okay,
and I had some strepsils in my throat and went back to bed for an hour. So it was about 12 o'clock. Woke up 40 minutes later. It's like, oh, this is good. I feel alive.
I don't know. So I got to Hackney just slightly before you, and we were actually quite worried. We were talking about like, should someone just go get Dave? Like, we're generally thinking someone should actually just go and get him to make sure he's fine.
I was really worried. If I hadn't had that nap and had those tablets, I wouldn't have made it. I was not making it. And I wasn't 100%. And I walked because we had bar 90 at Hackney Wick, lovely venue. And I remember pulling up there. I think it was 1:40. I wasn't even that late in the end.
Yeah.
And the reporter from The Athletic was outside. It's like, oh, I forgot I was meeting him. So I did the Athletic interview, and like as you can see by the picture in The Athletic, like. I was not with it, and he was asking some quite intense questions. And I was trying to give him my best. I had no voice at this point at all.
I was reading that. I was like, how did you manage to answer some of these questions? Like talking about things. I was like, how?
I was digging deep, and I felt sorry for the reporter because he had to have his microphone, and his phone right up to my mouth because I couldn't talk. And then once it was done, I met you guys, my two friends who had traveled up from home. had come to say make it as well, and I just could not get involved. Like I remember standing there with a drink, thinking, "Is this pontoon moving or is this me?" Like because we're right on the canal edge.
Did
and
you?
Yeah,
I don't know if you tweeted out where we were going to be or not, but there was a lot of Phillies fans there, though. Tons of Phillies fans. Because I was speaking to the manager because she came up just before you got there and asked, "What time does the baseball start?" And we're like, 6 o'clock. And we're like, "Oh God, I've not got enough staff on for this."
it was a Philly takeover.
Oh yeah, she had to call in more staff just to cope with the whole thing.
I think that was the theme in general, and it was good meeting people there. And then once we started walking to the stadium, absolutely fine. Again, the Philly fans easily outweighing the Mets fans and anybody else. Standing outside the ground, we had the big group picture, which was awesome.
The American Phillies fans in that as well, which was really cool to see because there's a good mix, like British American, which was really incredible.
Yeah, and it was, yeah. And then we're doing the Boom song. We were doing the booing of the Mets fans walking past again. It's just very jovial. And then going in, like, Rich, your first impressions on game day, like walking through into the stadium. Like, I know I was blown away by the setup. I just couldn't believe it. Even like 2 hours before, it was full. You know, it was really busy. Yeah. So many Philly fans. For you and for all you guys, like your first thoughts.
Well, my first thought was there's a lot of red here.
Yeah.
You just look down over and it's just red hat. It's like we've
done this well.
We've done this well. And I thought, interestingly, having been to the previous 2 London Series games, I thought they'd almost slightly toned down the pre-game stuff. It wasn't quite as cheesy as maybe I'm just being generous because it's the Phillies rather than Cubs and Cardinals or Yankees and Red Sox, but it felt a little bit more grown up, if you like. But it was. I thought the atmosphere was great. I thought Saturday, very very different atmosphere on Saturday to the Sunday, but it really felt like a baseball crowd on the Saturday.
Yeah.
It did. I think with the Phillies taking such a big lead on the Saturday, it was more relaxed. It was more. It was good. Like the Harper. Like at the start of the game, I sat in behind the Mets first baseline with Vince and the Philly sports guys, and I thought I'll do a couple of innings there and then move around to the UK Phillies section. But there was so many Mets fans around the area. I was like, oh, I can't sit here for too much longer. So I came around to you guys just in time. I think Whit Merrifield hit the home run as I saw you guys, and just being able to celebrate with you guys. Like we had our own little limbs in our section, and it was awesome. And as I was saying to a lot of people, like to be able to, like I said before, like interacting with all you guys and the many in the UK Phil's group chat, and the people I've spoken to all over social media from America and all around the world, to finally like meet you guys and then watch and experience the game where, you know, we all text each other and go in the group chat at stupid o'clock in the morning and talking about the games as they're happening, and then to actually watch it with all you guys was just so awesome. You know, that was one of my favorite moments. Saturday, you know, AOK belting out and just hearing it echo around the stadium.
My voice went at that moment. That's when my voice decided
incredible.
AOK. My voice just went at that point.
That guy that sings that song better pay Bryson Stott some royalties or something.
Oh yeah.
But you know,
that is international now.
Like every end of the year, you got like a Spotify rap thing, your most played song. That will be number 1 this year, 100%. Because I just went on the train, all the train journey down. I probably played that like 100 times on repeat, without a doubt.
It was the song where like Passyunk were playing at lows, people singing along. You know, you could even when it was playing, like I look around, there's like people wearing different teams' jerseys, like singing along with it. I'm like, this has to be the best walk-up song of all time. And then the first time round, when it just the music stopped and it just kept echoing round, like,
I won't go too far ahead, but on the Sunday, obviously, when you pitched hit, that when his thing, it's like wrestling. You know, when you hear like someone running down to the ring, that's what it was like with hearing his song over the thing. That's what it was, just a whole.
And everyone leapt off their chair because he was coming in because he didn't start the game. So the moment the first pitch of and everyone's like, yeah. Like, it was like a massive.
moment.
It's like a home run. That was literally like a home run. That was last what it was like.
It was the noise when he came in. The noise in general was unbelievable. Like for all the Phillies runs, the finish. And one thing I wish they'd done is played High Hopes at the end.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome.
The one thing I remember, that I years ago when Charlie Blackmon was still a great player, though I always wished that the Phillies had somebody with a walk-up song that, he uses that, Charlie Blackmon uses that song, Your Love, by, I think it's something baseball related, but it's that Josie's on a vacation far away, and I just want to lose your love. And all the Rockies fans, when he comes up, they stop playing it at tonight, and the Rockies fans yell it at the top of their lungs. Everybody loves it. And I've always wanted a Phillies player to have that kind of walk-up song. And Bryson Stott.
And
of course, who else? Who else?
Talking about walk-up songs, Bryce having the Spice Girls. Just
the small details. The small details.
He knew his mission, and he took it, and he just played to the moment.
Small details that the amount of effort he puts into this stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's things that nobody else thinks of. Nobody else does. There's no other player in sports that takes these small details into account other than him. Like
he came out and said, I think the press conference after, he said he'd already been thinking about this for a month at least ahead of advance.
Like people say it's pandering, but at this point it's too well thought out to be pandering. It's something that he genuinely enjoys doing.
Even the footy slide celebration. Like, are you kidding me?
Every moment is crafted for him. It has a lot of thought behind it. And it's I have too many good things to say about this club. I really
he is the ultimate showman. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw him slide, I'm like, if his knees give out.
Yeah.
The thing is, Topper didn't know it was going to happen, so he looked at it like.
Topper's reaction was the only one that was like, "Just don't do that again."
He just didn't. I don't think he knew.
Was pleased.
Didn't know what it was. He was like, "Why have you done that?
What is this? Get up.
Where does that come from?" Yeah.
And Saturday was great. The Mets took the lead, but the Phils just dominated. Suarez was excellent. The bullpen held on. The Jose didn't come in, but we were still getting the Jose chance going. And again, just meeting everyone. And I think I stayed in Hackney Wick that night, although I didn't drink hard. In fact, that was probably the earliest night I had, was that Saturday night, actually, funny enough. I don't know you went back to Passyunk, Stu and Sam?
So I'll let you go first.
I'm just trying to think now.
Yeah,
I think so. Based on what your memory is doing to you,
I'll have a look at the camera roll. Camera roll, tell me. Stuart, you go first, man.
So, actually, I was planning on going back, but I was at the game, so I was literally right beside you at the Philly section. But I met two people from Philly called Ian and Ashley, lovely couple, and they had no idea how to get to Passyunk after because they heard about it and all the stuff that happening. So I was like, do you know what? I'll take them. But I said to them, it'll be a bit crowded. So what the best thing to do was go on the tube, get off the next stop, go for a beer then, and maybe wait an hour or so. But obviously, I was going at that point. I need to get to my hotel. I got to the point, and I think they went after me because I just pretty much told them where to go, like directions, and I just ended up somewhere in London. I had no idea where I was. I was just Philly fans in a bar. I couldn't even name you the bar I was in. It was that mad. But that's the thing, like not even just Passyunk, they were everywhere, all about London.
Yeah, all over Hackney Wick after the game. Like, I wasn't standing in those train queues. I was like, oh, we'll go to a bar. Like it was at Hackney Bridge, the bars around there, which were awesome. Again, all full of Philly fans. There's a few Mets fans there as well, but it was just the atmosphere again, even outside the stadium and around the city was just unbelievable.
And shout out to Ranger Suarez on a 5-hour time difference and coming off of a start where he could have easily broken his hand. Coming out and
good point. Yeah,
a great game. I mean, that's just
pitchers obviously notoriously struggled at that stadium. And looking back, he was probably the best pitcher to play at that stadium so far in the 2 games that has been there.
Yeah, Walker's not far behind him either.
Yeah.
No, I was going to
Seriously.
say until the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
And that Sunday was awesome. The tailgate party at Cleveland Street. What a job they did, shutting down the whole street, decking it out.
I messaged you saying there's a queue, and you were like, "No way!" And I was like, I sent you a picture.
Yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
it's like literally a queue to get into this.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was packed,
Brilliant.
and I got wind from Tom that the Fnatic was going to be there at 10:30. So I thought, I better go and move on. Actually, I felt quite good on the Sunday morning, and then I got there, and
I went home after the game Saturday.
I was in a good place. Yeah, and it was just amazing, and also exclusive at the time. Yards breaking into London and UK for the first time ever, linking up with Passyunk, which was a real cool announcement. The Fnatic rocks up, everyone's going crazy. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't the effect the Fnatic has? Like, everyone just loses it, and it's so fun to see people's reactions to meeting the Fnatic. And I
will say I was there because it was just me. I think from the chat it was just me and you at that point that was there. And the amount kind of said the queues to meet the Fnatic was nothing compared to the queues to meet Dave. Not
I know.
This is what I was saying.
At this point, I was just holding his drinks and taking pictures for him. That was that point.
Well, after a weekend of drinking, everyone was just talking about the big green guy, and could easily have been Dave. After
it was just Dave
4 days of the
feeling a
London
little sicker.
series.
Oh yeah,
Dave feeling a little sick is the big green guy. Because I think, Dave, are people shocked when they see how tall you are?
Do you know what? My people say, "Oh, you're not taller than we imagined." It's because I'm 6'1".
I was gonna say you're like 6'1", 6'2". Like,
you know what?
It shocked me the first time I met you.
It was really fun. It was really funny on Tuesday, like leaving London, like because when I'm in London, like I'm waiting for are you the UK guy? Like everywhere I go, and it's so cool. It's like, you're Dave? You're the Dave? You're the UK guy? Which is maybe the most humbling thing I've ever.
I think I heard that about 1,000 times on the weekend.
And it's so cool. And on the Tuesday, I was like, "Oh, I'm just Dave."
Oh, yeah.
Man,
just back to good old normal Dave. But it was so cool. Sunday, the game felt like a more intense game. I think it was closer, which got both sets of fans more involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I'll give the Mets credit, the fans credit. There was definitely more Mets fans on Sunday.
Yeah.
Than there was on the Saturday. I'll give them, they rocked up on the side. I don't know if they got lost on the way to the stadium. I know a lot of people have cancelled flights and stuff like that as well. But I will give them credit. They did. A lot of them did show up on the Sunday.
But they were louder. I think they were louder I didn't know on Sunday we were sat by the bullpen. I didn't even know Mets fans were there until they started getting back in the game and then let's go Mets chants. I'm like, where do these guys come from?
Where have you been all weekend?
Yeah, where have you guys been all weekend? But it added to the atmosphere because then they would start "Let's Go Mets," would start "Let's Go Phillies."
Yeah, but every time as well. Every time "Let's Go Mets" turned into "Let's Go Phillies." It was brilliant.
The "Let's Go Mets" chants I heard on the broadcast. You could hear the boot getting booed out by the Phillies fans as well, which was cool to hear.
Yeah, for sure. That Sunday game was more like a real Phillies Mets, as if it was in New York or it was in Philadelphia. It had that intensity to it. That ninth inning was just a very typical Phillies Mets ending. I felt for Jose. Like, we gave him the big Jose chance as he goes in.
This is the thing, though. Like, and this is why I'm so shocked that people are so surprised or just like completely stymied by why the Phillies are kind of appearing to be a little hungover at this point, literally and figuratively. Like, we're talking about a 5-hour time difference. These guys were, if you guys think that you were out partying and doing all the things, so the Phillies probably were too. Like, this is it's a unique experience. Aaron Nola said it's going to be a vacation, right? So I'm sure they weren't exactly holding back, and I'm sure they also didn't sleep a lot, and I'm sure they also, like, Jose Alvarado, we haven't seen an outing like that from Jose Alvarado in nearly 2 years. Like, it's just, it's going to happen. And I know we're going to get to Ricky Bo's comments, but like, I don't know what you expected. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean
the Yankees and Red Sox struggled straight after in 2019.
Exactly.
The Cards struggled straight after last year.
I will say, going back to Jose, what I really liked, even Jack on High Hopes said it as well, that Topper put Jose back in next game against Red Sox.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought that was really important. It shows you that he showed his trust in them, and I thought I was like, that was the best decision. And I really, really enjoyed like that.
Yeah, and
the thing about Jose pitching is he always just seems on the edge of it all going wrong, right?
Sure.
Because with that speed and and it's such a fine margin for what happened on Sunday to happen.
Yeah.
That maybe
It's
halfway around the world 2 days beforehand is enough to cause it.
Baseball players are literally a creature of habit. They play almost every day, and their whole timeline right now is off with missing so many days, then playing, then flying back, then missing a couple of games.
They come from the West Coast just before that. They're going west back to Philly, out to London.
But like 10-hour flights all the way in between, dealing with time zone changes, all of these things. But then you look. Yesterday with Aaron Nola, right? Like he's yanking everything, and you hear him kind of efforting through some of that outing, and obviously, the umpire and all these things, they don't help you as much. But it's gonna happen. There's gonna be an adjustment period, and it is a little crazy that they have a 6-game road trip, coming back from,
and also one of the biggest thing is they're missing JT.
Well, they're missing 3 of their best hitters. But again, you don't need to make excuses. You also don't need to blame anybody. Like it's the way that things have shaken out. They're lucky that they have a great lead in the division. It's like, but that's why I don't understand why it feels like everybody's like, oh, JT's down. It must be the catchers behind the plate's fault. No, it's the 2 10-hour flights, the 3 time zone changes, and the lots of drinking and celebrating. Like
I think Bryce said himself, like they've played on it feels like it's been in 12 different time zones in the last week. So
it was the last 3 weeks. They changed time zones every single.
Even Alex said to us on that Friday. It is because we asked him, what flying from coast to coast to London. And he said it's tiring.
Of course it is. Yeah,
it is tiring. They can have that. They have luxurious seats and beds in these planes, but it still takes it out of you.
Yeah.
And Alec was very honest about it. It's tiring. It is for anybody. I know how look all the people who traveled from America to London on those first few days.
Getting back to work is probably a slog for you. Like, how do you think an athlete feels?
Exactly.
Our first day back at work. That first day back at work for me was tough. Imagine flying across the whole world, pretty much.
Imagine playing 2 full days of baseball and also doing meet and greets and also doing all these things, being on your feet all day. Like, it's crazy. And I feel like everybody's like, yeah, well, they got a day off before and after. Have you ever traveled across the country? Yeah. Have you ever done that?
That's not a day off. That's not a day off.
I had assumed that they would try and stay in an East Coast time zone, if you like. So, but what you were there at 9 in the morning on the Friday, Dave. That's like 4 a.m. in Philly.
Yeah,
and those guys were up doing meetings.
Yeah.
So it's not like they can just we'll ignore the time difference and just just go to bed late and get up late because they've got media stuff.
Yeah.
Thing is, you could say they said they slept on the plane, but yourself sleeping on the plane is half hour if you're maybe lucky, 2 hours tops. It's not easy to sleep on a plane.
And it's not exactly
proper sleep, is it?
Even if you're flying private. But at the same time, too, I think the culmination of how hard this was on these players is Alec Boehm's press conference the day of the second game, the morning of the second game. He sounded dead. He sounded like he was a corpse.
And he needed that off day. It's
crazy.
I feel like our whole team needs an off day. Well, right now,
a real off day. I feel like they do, but it's it is what it is. I do think the schedule could have been a little bit kinder to them, but I also,
it could be a rough weekend as well.
Yeah, it's not a great time.
It's probably going to be.
thing is, we're playing Baltimore. We have no Trey, maybe. Obviously, Marsh probably not be back to next week. Maybe you got no JT as well, and we're tired. The players haven't been at home, and
the Orioles are a bloody good team.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're the best team in the sport, but it is what it is, and I don't think I don't think it's gonna mean anything. And if they come away with a win, awesome. If they get swept, who cares? It was an amazing experience, and I feel like everybody should be so glad, because it looks like the guys are having fun. That's what I think is great. So
it was a bonding experience for them as well.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, Sam, your favorite moment of the London Series weekend, if you can pick one.
It was well advertised as the Harper knee slide was my that was my key moment.
It's good.
Oh yeah, it just again, give me a guy who gets it more than Bryce Harper.
And that's what I was saying.
Isn't one.
Unbelievable. Stuart.
So when I went there, my biggest thing the thing I was looking forward to the most was a Harper home run, and I got that, and that I couldn't have beat that. And of course, probably Spice Girls. I think coming out to the Spice Girls, I kind of I say pop for that as well. I was like, this is like something yourself get. You say he just gets it. He just knows his mission. He knows what he's gonna do. He just perfect.
Rich.
I could join in the Bryce Lovin, and those were special moments. I think maybe Big Hit Whit, just because.
Good for you, Rich.
The ball came over.
Brilliant.
B, it's Whit Merrifield. He's done something good,
and he's been on a heater since.
Yes. Yep.
But it also broke the game open, and that was the point at which I was like, the Phillies are going to win.
Yeah.
Game 1 in London.
Yeah.
That's the point at which I knew it, and
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was the first. Yeah, I just got to our section when he hit that as well, which was awesome. And then we got the Big Hit Whit chant going as well. Alex, from watching at home, from experiencing it all through the TV, the social media.
I'll get a little sappy, and I'll say I think my favorite thing is that you finally. This is a culmination. I've known you for, I don't know, 7-8 years at this point. This being the culmination of all the work that you do and all the things that you give to the fan base, but also to you sacrifice so much of your life. And I know you enjoy it, so it doesn't feel like sacrifice, but you do. You sacrifice so much to do what you do, and you make everything a more enjoyable experience, particularly for me, because I'm also from the UK, but also I just seeing my friend get the recognition for the hard work that he puts into the thing that he loves to do,
100%,
and seeing all of that come together, that was the best thing for me. And that's honestly the reason that I wish I was there the most, because I love when we're in Philadelphia and people ask me to hold the camera to take pictures of you and them. Like, that's my favorite thing ever.
People do.
That's my favorite
Stuart had a
thing.
bit of that as well.
That's my favorite thing. Like, I think it's so cool that you can just that people will recognize you, and I think that because you deserve it, because this is something that you never did for the following, you never did for anything. It's something you did because you really loved it, and your passion is palpable, and people finally get to see that and recognize that. That's the coolest thing for me. And so, yeah, I get to watch Phillies baseball all the time. But the fact that you get your flowers and that we get to give them to you now as well that's tops for me.
That's
Truly.
Biggest
I sort of feel like my answer was a bit selfish now because it was
no. I just wanted to make sure we didn't. I wanted to make sure we didn't stop recording without getting to say.
I would 100% back that, because the amount of work that Dave puts in is just insane.
Like, you didn't have to. Nobody's paying you.
No,
you didn't have to do all of these vlogs, all of these guides, all of these things. Like, you never have to. You never have to fly to Philly. You never have to make the merch. You never have to hold the flag. You don't have to do those things. But for whatever reason, you're a psycho, and you feel called to do it. And I think it's just to see this be one big event. And obviously, it's not it's not why they went to London, but it definitely didn't hurt. Like,
we can tell them it was. We can tell them.
Yeah. But T-Mac and John Kruk, the way that they, even leading up to it, the way that they were just like, we're gonna go see our friend Dave, like like it's so cool to see you get that recognition and get your flowers for that. It really is.
Without Dave, like I don't think that topper at Passyunk moment happens because you're the
I don't
one.
think the majority of this happens.
Yeah.
I really don't. I staunchly believe that. I don't think that this event goes off as well as it does, goes off to the degree that it does, and gets as much effort from the Phillies as it does without you. I really don't. And I don't think as many people travel. I really don't.
Because they would not have that base of
I will say
that
the Sundays
group that they knew they were going to meet. Yeah.
Dave made the effort to talk to everybody that came out.
Well, he always does.
Literally made the effort to talk to everybody. I know this is a bit of a Dave Love thing now, but
I know I'm a bit uncomfortable.
No, sorry.
He could have just been like, "I'm happy to take a picture," but he made the effort to talk to everybody as well. Asked them how they enjoyed London, where they're from in the States, everything. He made the effort because I know.
But the amount of people that did come up to you, Dave, and I know you know it's a lot. The amount of people that did come up to you and knew who you were and made a point to see you and get in line to take pictures with you and all those things, right? Those people are there because you got them hip to this idea of UK Phillies.
It's very, very humbling. Like, it's surreal. Honestly, like my friends came from back home and they just can't believe it because I'm just a normal guy. I work Monday to Friday, 8 till 5. I'm just a passionate Phillies fan and just spreading the fandom like a psycho.
I will say since like the whole London series has happened, our group chat that we've got, there's been tons of new members every day.
That's
awesome.
one of the best things about it so far.
Brilliant.
We're up to over 100 members now.
Yeah, the Facebook group's going crazy too.
Facebook group's got nuts.
Everybody's in there.
Like, I remember first starting the Facebook group. Like we're now at 1.5.
Yes, I do too.
It's good. Like for me, like the legacy now. There's so many new fans that have just come into the sport and come into the Phillies that now we've got to get hold of and sort of take it forward.
Take the next step now, yeah.
I think we gotta get to the States. That's got to be the plan.
That's the big one. That's a next year plan.
You should reach out to the guys that do the Philly trips.
Philly sports trips with Vince, who I know very, very well, who set up, and big thank you for him.
He set up to get a reverse on that.
That's the
aim.
That's the aim.
Philly take over.
Well, and I'm sure the Phillies would be down to help you guys out with that too.
Yeah, I want to talk to John Brazier properly. Like I spoke to him briefly Monday for like the first time all weekend. We just kept missing each other.
Yeah.
And by that point, Monday morning at the WIP event at Battersea, my voice had completely given up. You know, me and James, I was talking to James Seltzer, and we were both in the same boat. Like I could just trying to get two words out of each other, but meeting everybody for me, finally having that chance to give back to Philly fans who had been so good to me when I've been over in Philly, and getting you guys and everybody to sort of experience what I've been lucky enough to experience when I've been to the States. Like, it's always amazing the way the Phillies treat me, and I've always wanted to try and give it back to other fans as well, because I think sometimes like, oh, this is awesome, but I wish everybody
could experience the same
sort of experience what I'm doing right now. And to have that, to have you guys meet Spencer and some of the coaching team, and
he's such a dude. Like
Spencer's great. Like, he's been on the show a few times as well, and the friendship I've had with Spencer since last year, and him coming on the show, and the guy he is in general, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And it was just so nice for you guys to see some of the media side of it, see the fanatic, and just experience what Philly and what the Phillies are about. Because every time I go to Philly, it's exactly what I get. And I'm so glad that they brought that over and gave everybody the full experience. And just seeing everyone so happy, smiling, even after the split, even after that lost Sunday, everyone was like, well, it was crazy. I don't think none of us even realized that we had lost until it said Mets win on the TV screens, because it was such a confusing play from where we were stood.
Yeah.
Or say that's like the first play like that since like 1912 or something.
Yeah, the broken bat. Like from our angle, it looks like Stubbs got home fine. They got the out at first, so everyone was confused. Dominguez was in the bullpen celebrating, so we thought we'd tied the game, and then it said Mets win on the screen. Like, what a way to finish a Mets Phillies game! Mets win comes up on the screen.
I will say, Darren Fletcher? His call of that was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah,
Why in
amazing.
the world did we have?
Yeah,
Did we not have that be the national broadcast? That's crazy.
Darren Fletcher is a fantastic commentator who nailed it all week. I've listened to both games that he's done. He's excellent.
Before that, I was like, I knew of him. I knew he's like good at football, but I didn't know how good he was at baseball. I was really nervous if that's how people were going to get introduced to it. But by God, he did brilliant.
That call is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's so.
I just wish it was for us. You know, I wish when the bases were loaded and Bone could have walked off.
That would have gone insanely viral. That would have been.
Oh, I think I would have gone viral if Bowman walked it off. I was on the pitch.
You would have been on the
You'd be on the pitch.
I was, and everybody was like coming up to me, going, "But this is Bowman's moment. This is your moment right here." My heart was racing.
Yeah, you would have run on the field with the flag. And then the security would have tried to tackle you, and they'd be like, "Don't you know who that is?"
Don't you know?
They just let you go.
I was making a beeline for Alec if he'd walked it off.
Get in one hand, flag in the other.
Yes. Well, in my top around.
Yeah. And then we would all have cheered when you got tased like that going, Cleveland.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, that would have gone viral. The whole weekend was just special. It was surreal. It was special. Walking around London Monday, just seeing all the Philly fans still around, still in good spirits. Just again, I think the whole weekend epitomized the best of baseball, the best of Philly,
the best of Philly,
Phillies, the best of the people, and just showed everybody. If you haven't been out to Philly yet, get out to Philly because that's exactly how it is. The passion's the same, the energy. Like Philly fans went above and beyond. Like I was sort of like before the game, like, do I do like a rally call for people to bring the energy? And I didn't. From the Wednesday, I'm like, I don't need to. It's go Phil's chants everywhere. The passion was unreal. We outnumbered the Mets fans. Let's do it again. Like, bring them back because there's so many people that, like yourself, Alex, who said you wish you'd gone. Like, that was just a slice of the Philly fan base that came over. There's thousands more who would do it again.
It's one of those things. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Like I can't tell you how many people I still hear, bring up and cite these stupid things to try and give a bad name to the Philadelphia fan base. I don't know how you can look at that weekend and say a bad thing about Philadelphia sports fans and Philadelphia sports in general. I don't know how. Just this hour and a half that we've been recording, I don't know how you can feel what I think all of you and even I felt from afar that weekend and not be enamored with not just the sport of baseball, but with the city of Philadelphia, with the fans, with all those things. I just don't know. If you don't get it, you don't get it, and that's okay. And you know what?
This is it. I feel sorry for people who don't get it. Like,
I really do. I do.
Philly fans, like for a lot of us in the group meeting for the first time, I was slightly nervous. Like, we all going to get along. We all gonna, and everyone made each other feel so welcome. Like to see everybody getting along instantly, it's just a camaraderie of Philly fans. Like every time I've been to Philly, like and taking new people out there, the thing is with Philly people is as long as you go to the city and don't act like an idiot and want to try and get it, they will accept you in and go out their way to bring you in to Philly. Like my first ever time in 2012. First time I went out there, I knew nothing about it. I love the city, the people, and people went out their way to give me just recommendations on where to eat, drink, where to go. Went out their way to explain the sport to me. Philly people get such an undeserved bad rep.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you said, Alex, I think people just don't get it. And that's
the thing. After the game, I had the two people I was talking to from Philly during the day of the first game. As soon as after the next, I think Monday, when they knew I was going back, they messaged me. It's like they knew I was going over to Philly in November for the Eagles game, They were like, you need to reach out to us when you get there so we can take you to all the best places. You can meet tons of Philly fans as well. And I was like, that's the kinship that I feel like we've grown with people from Philly as well. 100% shout out to the people from Philly. I thought they were fantastic all weekend.
And it captured London's imagination, like the newcomers to the sport, like we said on Saturday, that guy who just like bought all this Philly gear an hour, like half an hour ago, and it's like, that's my team. I love these people.
Great story.
Yeah, just walked in, spent £600 at the shop.
Yeah, yeah. And then just said, like, I love you guys. That's it. Phillies are my team.
Yeah.
The fact that we were booing Mets fans got him into it. Like, great, you know, but it's just the amount of new fans that have had reach out on the socials since London Series already is fantastic. You know, this is exactly what it's all about. And I know MLB, I know they're working. The CBA agreement is a tough one to get around. That's now what's really stopping this game coming back next year.
Well, they can't
working on it.
I know there's a lot of people from Philly who missed out who want to come and do the London thing again. Like I don't know if you follow Kate or not, who goes to every game in Philly in America. Like she was missed out on it and she wants to go to it as well. And there's tons of others as well, which is just really good to see because the good feedback that they got probably as well and heard from people shows you that they want to.
There's no way they didn't notice. There's no way. I think that especially when you compare this year to years past, there's just no way. I mean, it's crazy. Philadelphia took the whole city by storm.
It was a Philly takeover.
It really was.
I know I was saying it a lot before the weekend, like it's going to be a Philly takeover. Inside I was thinking, I hope it is. You know, I really hope it is. But from the Wednesday onwards, it honestly was. It blew me away. People listening who traveled over, you were incredible. The people here who just integrated, everyone integrated perfectly. And
I will say as well, I thought Passyunk were fantastic as well.
Everyone they were incredible, and the staff were on their knees. JP, who I saw on Monday, Gary, Dan, Alex, everybody who works at Passyunk who put in the hours, like
a lot of hours.
Crazy.
They were
long days, and all of them kept with a smile on their face. A lot of them were living in the moment as well. And they were fantastic. And everybody who I spoke to absolutely loved Passyunk, rightfully so. It's a home from home. That's the idea. It went down a storm. They're all on a well-deserved break right now as well. The Passyunk, like JP as well, not only for me, but for JP to get the limelight that he deserves, setting up Passyunk and hearing his plans to expand, and very exciting they are too. He deserves all the success because, again, you know, without him, without Passyunk, man, you know, we wouldn't have anywhere near had the weekend that we had. Not even close.
We'd have
What'd you say, Sam?
We'd have all been at Weatherspoons.
We would have spoons. Yeah,
exactly. I can't imagine what that crowd's going to look like at Passyunk for the rest of the season. I wonder if that's going to be.
It's great. I know everyone knows that's the place to be now. It's on the map. It was already on the map anyway for American sports, but now it's the home from home. It's
people go on holiday, like just come on holiday from Philly. We'll just go there now because they know it's their home.
And it will show Philly sports. Yeah.
And I can't imagine what it's going to be like the next time the Phillies are over there. I can't. I feel like it's going to be even crazier.
Yeah. I think it's better this time around because when the Eagles came, it was the same thing. It was a sea of green across London, but there was only one venue, and it was the smallest one. Helped this time. There was 3 venues spread across London. 2 of them are fairly decent size. Well, like Leak Street's obviously massive, massive as well. I think it helped that they had 3 venues so they could accommodate more fans.
Right.
There was probably so many that came over for the Eagles game as well that were turned away because Passyunk was booked months, years in advance. So I think it was better this time round that there was more. For the places for people to go to.
There was an event at every Passyunk as well, so people actually got to travel around London as well, which was really smart idea, which is really good idea, I thought.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Guys, I think we could go on, but I know we've kept Stu from the Scotland game, although you haven't.
I've just seen the score. I don't want to go look at it. I don't.
Oh no!
Do you want to know? Have you seen the score?
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty. But
I haven't looked.
But you've been able to come on here and chat Phillies and London series, so
I think it's been good because it's kind of the closure. I feel like I needed to talk about it because at the come down, it's been quite tough. It's still
Big
a bit.
time.
Watching them play still is a bit sad. It's like I kind of wish I was there. But this has kind of been, like I said, the closure I feel like I needed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Guys at home, thank you so much for watching and listening. As you can tell, it's got very dark here now. We've been talking for a long time. Well, we've got a big thunderstorm where I live. So that's it. London Series 2024. It's done. It's in the books. Put it in the books.
In the books, yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see a lot of the clips in the yearbook coming up at the end of the year for happy reasons. My next trip to Philly, for people keep asking, is going to be October at some point. I'm hoping for the big one at the end of October, but I get serious FOMO when they're in the playoffs, so I'm probably going to stretch it. I don't know. I'll see how I feel and what our chances are of getting all the way, but we will be back next week. Alex, normal service resume next week. Hopefully,
let's do it
on the back of I don't know if we beat the Orioles. That would be huge. I'll tell you what. I'm not. Yeah.
I'm going with low expectations. So as a Scotland fan as well, I'm used to low expectations.
Yeah, my expectations for the Orioles.
Welcome to Phillies fandom. 99% of the time, you should also get used to that.
Yeah, the Orioles are hot. We're batting and they're playing us at the perfect time for them. But the Braves are also just as bad right now. So we're losing no ground. That is it. So we got a few here. So from myself, it's ring the bell, and from Sam,
ring the bell.
Yes, from Stu,
ring the bell.
From Rich,
ring the bell.
Yes, and Alex, take us out.
Ring the bell, Dave.
Let's go.